Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Look, I'm talking about a different topic today. I'm talking about ancestry DNA and looking at your DNA to find out your ancestors. I've recently purchased a kit from MyHeritage DNA where it basically comes in the mail. You can get a swab, you put the swab in your mouth, you put the swab in the tube, you put it in the mailbox, send it back to the labs. They do some analysis on it and then they present you with your ancestry. I've completed this, but over the last 15 years, I've done some extensive research on my family tree. I have got on my father's side pretty much English heritage, so it goes back many, many generations, back to about 1600s where I can trace it. Mostly going through Surrey into Cornwall up into Wales, that sort of era. We came out to Australia in the 1840s as free settlers. On my mother's side, she emigrated to Australia after the Second World War in the early 50s. She came from the Netherlands and her family goes back, I can trace back to the 1500s in that area. So I'm expecting to see Dutch heritage and I'm expecting to see English heritage. I have seen some Scottish relatives on the ancestry tree as well, going way back. Who knows? But I'd be curious to see if there's anything interesting on the tree. So anyway, let's have a look at what my ancestry results come out to be. So with MyHeritage DNA, at the end of it, once they find all the results, they send you an email, which click the link and you end up with a page like this where you can explore your ethnicity. So let's have a look at what my ethnicity is. Let's go. I am 60.2% North and West European, which covers the Netherlands and that sort of area, which is pretty high. 30% English or thereabouts. 11.2% Scandinavian and nothing else. Okay, so I'm pretty well not mixed. I'm pretty much straight up and down white Caucasian with a 60.2% North and West European mix, which is the Netherlands, Germany, that sort of area. France, which sort of makes sense from my mother's side, and the 30% from my English heritage from my father's side. And I have never found anybody from the Norway or Sweden or Denmark area, but you know, given that Viking heritage and Vikings in the northern Netherlands, where my mother was born, would make sense that there's probably some inkling of Scandinavian DNA in my system. So let's have a look at the full ethnicity estimates and see where that breakdown is. So what does it come up with? It comes up with Northwest European. Okay, so mostly hanging over the Netherlands area of that Northwestern European. So mostly focused on Friesland, which is, you know, exactly where my mother was born. She was born in Schnick, so exactly where this big cluster here is. So that makes sort of sense. The other areas that stand out is this one here. I can't pronounce that, but over Rizal or something like that. So my grandfather was born in Waltzend, so that sort of makes sort of sense because that's sort of over that area as well. So that's pretty enlightening. The English side of things is pretty much just over the whole of England, so really not really broken down, but it is stipulating around that sort of Cornwall, Wales, Surrey area, which is expected. But what's not expected is that there's no Scottish or Irish background in the DNA, which is possible. I might just not have gotten those traits in my DNA as well. But the one that surprised me was this Scandinavian one. So I might have to try and figure out where my Viking background comes from. But this is quite interesting. So yeah, I'll have to look at that as well. Maybe with DNA matches, I might find some DNA matches. Let's have a look. So 9,566 DNA matches from across the world, from Australia and the Netherlands, and I think I saw Canada up there as well. Yeah, mostly cousins and that sort of stuff. But basically, let's have a look at filtering that down to maybe just the extended family instead of distant relatives. We've got 8. So there's 8 extended families. So these ones probably I'll research where they fit in the family tree and find out where they match. I know a couple of these names, Tromp, Toons, Hyde, are familiar. The rest of them I'll have to research where they fit. But yeah, that's really cool. Anyway, so that's my DNA testing. I hope you enjoyed finding out as much as about where my backgrounds come from. Not surprisingly, Dutch, English, and not much else. I was hoping to be, some part, African or Ashkenazi Jew or something like that, but it's pretty much straight up and down English, Dutch, pretty plain. All right, have a good day, and everybody enjoy your life.